I was about to get my lighter out.
I know. Look, we like this. Right.
You are now tuned in to the Talk Your Shit podcast. You are now tuned in to the Talk Your Shit podcast.
Yo, welcome to the Talk Your Shit podcast. Take two. Yeah, we was already here earlier. But we had some technical difficulties. Now we back. We gonna hopefully finish up the show. You know, we just got in the beginning of it. So if you on YouTube and you go back and watch the other show, then this is part 2 of that one.
I feel like this is part 2.1 though, because we did the test one. So
Yeah.
So this is like 2.
So it's part 2.1.
Take 2.1.
Okay. But wouldn't the other one be 2.1? This would be 2.2?
No, that would be if that was anything, it'd be like 1.1.
Oh, okay.
And this will be 2.
And this will be 2.
Yeah. Instead of doing
2.1. No matter. We here again. How about that?
We're back.
And we're back. And we're ready.
That's what it is. We are back and we are here. But basically, we was just having a conversation about businesses and black businesses and other businesses and stuff like that. But like I said, I think the inherently incorrect comment or comparison is when somebody says you'll go to McDonald's and they'll mess up something or whatever, and but you keep patronizing the business, but you'll go to a black business and they mess up and you won't. Well, I think what people leave out is that if I go to a McDonald's and they have bad business at that McDonald's, I'm not going to go back to that McDonald's. I can go to a whole nother McDonald's where they treat me better and give me better food.
And that's right.
You understand what I'm saying? But the black business, that's the only one of your kind or whatever. And if I have a bad experience there, I'm not going to come back there either. So it has nothing to do with the business. It has to do with the problem that I'm having at that business.
That customer
As
service.
said as business. So if you had a black business that was chained and I wanted to support it, I wouldn't go back to that one, but I'd probably go to another branch or extension of it to see if they get better service, because I don't just want to stop going, but I don't want to go to that one that I get bad business from. So
Right.
I think when people say that, it's just inherently wrong. It's just wrong. You can't compare that.
And here's my thing. I believe, especially when it comes to like patronizing a business, you should at least give them, but depending on what it is, because like if I get plastic surgery and you botch my nose, I'm not coming back to you ever. But if it's like goods, services that are not involving botched surgeries and stuff like that, then I believe that you should give them an opportunity to fix the problem. Now, if I give you the opportunity to fix the problem and there is no solution at all, then I'm not coming back. And I'm not obligated to come back just because I'm black and you're black.
And that's key. People always think like, come on, sister, come on. No. I had the ladies, this is why I don't wear weave now. I ordered something offline and it was like a good amount of money from a distance. Mm-hmm. And I put my money into it. And it was something I wanted, I needed. And it took 2 months for it to arrive. I had to reach out to the person via DM like 3 times. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Ended up not being the right one. So I sent it back. And then it took another month and a half for it to come back. And by the time I got there, I was like,
it's like you don't even want it no more.
I didn't. I was like, whatever. I didn't even touch it. It still said, I'm like, I was like, she's like, oh, I give you a discount on ship it. Girl, get my stuff back. Stop playing with me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
and it's I want to work with you. I want to work with you. I want to be like, okay, I know. But then when I find out you got a whole system, you actually have people. No, you know better.
You know better.
You playing with me. You playing with me.
Like for me, it's like you might not be able to solve my problem all the way, and that's still fine. It's just the attempt for me. So if it's something that like I'll give you another chance on something else. Maybe not that particular item, but if you have multiple items, or a lot of times people are like, oh, well, you didn't you didn't come to my business for this. Like sometimes I literally have no need for your business. But if I know someone who comes up and has a need for your business, I'll recommend you. Like I don't necessarily have to buy something from you myself. I'm not going to buy shit I don't need.
But there's also what that stuff is that customer service part is too, because it's like I have to have a good experience with you to tell people, because if I don't have a good experience with you and I tell somebody else and they don't, they gonna come back to me like,
they're like, why the fuck did you do this to me? And like, oh, like, and like, oh, I'm so sorry. What
happened? I'm gonna lose out on, you know what I'm saying? Like friendships end over shit like that, like for real. Like you sent me to this motherfucker and they ain't even, man, I ain't got time for this.
I'm gonna tell you how that happened with me. When you employ your friends.
Oh yeah.
You employ your. I did that the first time I started putting people in business and positions. Never did that again. They were like, don't ever. I was like, I'm so sorry. I never called that person back. I never.
Because they put it back and put back.
Yes, and I had literally had to find someone else that was like top tier to replace them. And I told that person, I was like, I could mush you in the face. Like, you were embarrassing not only me, but I'm a Black woman trying to pitch these pitches to all these different cultures, and most of the owners are men, about my people that I could staff you with, and you're failing me. And that was when I first started. Mm-hmm. That was the frustrating part, because I'm like, I didn't have a track record yet. It was just me, and they was like, why can't you do it? I was like, I don't want to do it. And then after that, it was just like, okay, I understand. If you're not my friend, I'm gonna see your potential. If you're my friend, I can send you someone else, but not to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just wasn't gonna do it like that.
But like I said, it's just I think a lot of people just yeah.
It's entitlement.
I went over this too. A lot of people will say stuff on the internet too, just to be saying stuff, and that's why I think that statement that I just said was just wrong. It's just because it doesn't make any sense. Like you compare one together, it's like apples and oranges. Like really, like literally. It's a franchise and what mom's talking about the franchise or franchise or something, and then one branch business. So it's like you can't, like when people make memes and stuff like that, and people jump on it, and it's like, yeah, that's so true, and I be sitting there like, no, that's not true. Like, use your common sense. You know what I'm saying? Don't just jump on the wagon because you got a lot of likes. It's not.
Yeah. Well, coming from a business perspective, I think it can be, depending on what it is, harder for a smaller business to remedy a problem, because, like, if you got McDonald's pays like, I don't know, $27 for a case of like 100 hamburgers. Mm-hmm. But you have this smaller business who's paying, like, because they don't use anywhere near as much, they might have to pay like $4.99 a pound. So maybe more expensive for them to remedy. And I just use food as an example, but the same with like clothing and stuff like that. You have like minimums and stuff like that, and you're trying to meet minimums, but the effort.
But that's the thing. It's like I think people
like try to fix, even if you tell me, hey, listen, if I say I want another one of whatever it is, say, you sent me one, it was like one of the last ones you had in stock, and I don't know, had a small tear in it. I want another one. Okay, but before I even get any more, I have to meet a certain minimum, so you might have to wait a while. Okay, I'm fine with waiting a while. Yeah, but tell me I'm gonna have to wait a while.
Definitely communication.
Right.
Communication
exactly.
Like you just said.
The communication is the important part.
If you don't get communication, because when I reach out to you and I'm already irritated, it's like, oh, hey, boo. Hey, boo. Hey, mom. Hey, baby girl. Hey, sweetie. Hey, hun. Yeah, it's gonna be coming from my.
Yeah. Okay.
And come from a manufacturer. It's a little backed up. Because you're gonna put a bad taste in my mouth.
Because you already knew that when I requested one, right?
Just tell me. That's just let me know. Because when you'll be able to.
I think that's the biggest deal, though. That's the biggest key, because people don't want to tell you. So I think what happens is this, and this is just my theory, but I think it happens a lot, where people don't want to tell you what they need to tell you up front because they might lose what they have with you and the bagging, right? So like friendships, all that stuff, right?
Everything.
It depends. Like you have to totally trust what you have in yourself, or what you are, or what your business is, or who you are. You tell people stuff up front, so hopefully that it won't backfire in the end, right? So like if you have a thing, if I have a shirt, and you say I want to buy that shirt from you, and I say okay, I have a shirt, and I send it to you, and it's not quite the color or something that you wanted. So instead of saying to you, ah man, you know what? I ain't have the color that you wanted, so blah blah blah. But instead of saying that up front, and you possibly saying, "Well, I don't want it at all," I'll send you another color, hoping that you'll want that. But then I messed it up because you didn't get the color you want, and I ain't want that color either.
Right, because then at this point I'm like this guy's an idiot. I told him I wanted a red shirt. Why?
So now you sitting there like trying to hopefully that and then when you come back and I'm like, well, what happened? And blah 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 because I'm defensive because I sent you your shirt.
But you said it out of fear.
Huh?
You said it out of fear of rejection of your business, and in that way you.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, right? But that's why you exactly
and
because
you destroyed yourself already.
Exactly, because you didn't communicate. I didn't communicate up front,
like
and that's how it is.
Fight your face.
That's how it is nowadays. That's how it is nowadays. That people don't come straight forward with you because they think in the end it's gonna fuck them up. You know what I'm saying? When in actuality, a lot of times if you just come straight up forward, like listen. You like the shirt that I had, whatever, but I don't have it in black. I got it in blue or red. Like, can I send you one of those? And she might be like, well, I love red because red my favorite color anyway. I didn't know you had red. You send me that one. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Or she say, well, when the next time you get the black
one? Well, you gonna get the black one? I can wait for that one. Yeah, I can wait for that. Well, I won't have a black one for like another couple of weeks. I can wait a couple of weeks. I just bought it anyway because I think it was gonna look new in the summer, and it's March right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, right.
You help that person out, hold out from wearing it.
But you gotta just, I think that's what's lacking a lot of.
Communication.
Yeah, I think that's what's lacking a lot of.
Because like even when it comes to services, like if you can't deliver on a service, you might not be able to do it for me. Like if you're one person, I tell you I'm having a wedding, I need you to cater for 600 people. One person is not going to be able to cater for 600 people. And it's okay to tell me that you can't. Because if I like the way your food looks, I wanted you to cater my wedding, then if somebody else comes along with an event, they're like, do you know any caterers? I can recommend you. I'm not going to recommend you to somebody who's serving 1,000 people.
But then if you got 50,
but if you got 50, you can get them out of the way. Right.
Or say how many people you need to help me with this event. I really want your food, you know.
or you can say, hey, listen, I got a wedding. Can you do it? Well, okay, you might can't do this one, but I'm having another event with a smaller reception later with a certain amount of people. Yeah. You can be like, I can have you there instead. But if you don't say, I can do the 600, and you mess that joint up, I'm never gonna want you.
And then you show up at my wedding with 3 cupcakes and 7 carrot sticks, and I'm
like this is all I can do is this. Oh hell no, I am fucked. Who's gonna help us?
And then I will be calling up McDonald's.
Okay, right. I'm gonna have to call up Chipotle to cater my wedding.
2 orders of it. Look, you want 3 phones.
Chipotle and Popeyes.
I'm gonna have to call somebody.
Like you just serve.
What you need? What you need? I need everybody. Come on, bring everybody.
The whole staff. To keep the register too. Everybody.
Like you got an aunt that can make some good macaroni and cheese. I need like 6 pans of that right now.
Like now, like give me that.
Like grandma, I know you say you want to make us some favorite pie, but get the powder.
Right.
Get the powder.
Get the flour. Come on.
Okay.
Get it in. Let everybody on deck. Come on.
Okay.
Bridal shower, bridal party. Work. Come on, groomsmen, bridesmaids. Get to work.
Yeah, look, everybody got on an apron.
Everybody got a little name.
All because you told me you can cater 600 people and you cannot.
You cannot. You can't do it.
It's okay.
You did not do it right. But yeah, that's just how
I'm just kidding, y'all. I don't even like 600 people, so ain't 600 people gonna be my wedding. But
you gonna have a wedding?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I mean, to me, I would rather like go to the justice of the
I wasn't
peace
talking about that.
and throw a
I wasn't
bomb ass
even-
party. Oh, you talking about getting married in the first place?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds good in theory.
It doesn't. Not to you, apparently. We can get into that.
Oh, you
We had questions. We had talks. You know, you.
Oh, Miss Brickhouse, do you think you'll get married? Okay, I'll answer that question. Woo!
Now we had conversations. We've had conversations before, and the way she go about the subject, is it really? Is it really gonna happen?
You never know.
Come on, Miss Brickhouse, are you go? Let's talk about you now. Like you gonna get it? Okay. I was trying to switch the subject. So
I don't know. I think so. I had a theory.
Okay.
Here's my theory.
It is.
I had a theory that marriage was not possible, and then I met someone, and then I was like, "Oh my God, it could be," and then I hated that person, and then I was like, "Fuck marriage," and then now, as me being at the age I am, and honestly, just seeing people on the good and bad side of it, I feel like I just let it flow. But I don't think I want a big ass wedding because I don't want that many people in my shit.
What?
Does that make sense? Like I'm a big earthy person. I'm more earthy. I think I would have to have it at an island or a beach. Honestly,
I was married
nice.
before, and
Was it big? Was it small?
I was younger, so it was big. I was younger. It was about 20 years ago.
Ooh.
I was young, but I mean, I didn't. To be honest with you, I mean, I was the typical dude. Like, whatever you want, just go ahead, plan it. Like, go do what you do.
Just tell me what time to show up.
Just tell me what time to be there. Like, seriously, I was like that. They wanted me to go and pick out flowers and do all that stuff, and like, I went, but I didn't really care. To be honest with you, I didn't really care. And my ex-wife was like, you know, you're part of this too, and that's cool. But I just didn't. I honestly wanted you just go ahead, have at it. Have your wedding. Do what you. I'm gonna be there. In my tux,
Hopefully.
Right? And she was like, she was not the like.
No, we good. We set up the. We had somebody singing and everything. Like we had the singers and everything. We did it top 10. We did everything, and it was cool. I had fun. I had a ball at the reception. Like a great time. I had a great time. The wedding was perfect. The reception was great.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. I didn't have to be involved in that. Now, if I was to do it again, hell no. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
Justice of the Peace, bomb ass party, caterer, 50 people.
Not 600.
DJ B Sale on the ones and twos.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. What I'm saying
is,
like now, like everybody, let's be honest, everybody in DMV, we all know everybody do something. Mm-hmm. So that part of trying to find someone is like, how much you want for this?
Right.
How much can okay, baby. Yeah. And it's not a stressful thing.
But the DJ, come on, DJ, I know you do it. Come on, man, you gonna do this joint.
I got about six DJs off the top of my head.
I know
right
DJs,
now.
Caterers, designers, hairdressers.
Yeah,
you know, women just you had yours. You don't need that many bridesmaids or groomsmen. I'm gonna say that's
not the second time around.
That's just too much.
At one point, I said I was gonna have 12, and then my best friend was like, "Bitch, do you even like 12 people?"
Thank you. You see the bitch when it's like they have so. I'm like, I don't even hear that baby on a regular basis. Like, who wants to be in my wedding?
My rule would be my rule would be if I haven't talked to you in like 3 months, like if you wouldn't know if I died. If you didn't hear it through the grapevine, then you're not invited. And I don't give a fuck how you feel about it.
And with that being said, let's come on, my 7 people. Let's walk to the justice.
No, I mean for real though. Like
witness me and let's have a little.
If I was
a spot or like just all here able going to the cruise. We are just doing something intimately. A positive.
My JIP. If I went to the JIP, if I went to Just Peace, it would be me.
I'm not doing that.
My JIP. Yeah.
I was like, who?
I was like, just me.
my fiance and 2 witnesses. That's it.
And everybody was like, "Hey y'all, meet me for dinner.
Meet me at the hood.
Come on, let's have some brunch.
Meet me at David.
Like,
they're like, man, I had my grandmother has like the biggest yard. I'd have the biggest cookout known to man.
Let's come to the cookout. Let's come to the cookout. That's it.
have a bouncy house for kids and pony
Because
rides.
all that money you save, all that money that you can say, hey, listen, we're gonna go to the Justice of the Peace in 6 months. We're gonna plan like we're gonna do a wedding. We're gonna just save all that money. Like, let's take out flower money, let's take out this money, let's take out that money, and just go on a bomb ass honeymoon.
Like, how much would that be? How much would that be? How much would that be? And let's do the minimum, or let's do the top tier.
Or in the middle, somewhere.
Whichever one. Baby,
and then go on the honeymoon.
Honey, what would you want? And just save, and then by the time you just be, all right, y'all going to this dinner. Love y'all. We heading out.
We getting out.
Love y'all.
Don't call our phones for 2 weeks.
I'm like, nah, I just had a GPS just in case we get lost at sea.
No, they can locate. Just don't call.
Locate, don't call me.
If that Joe look like it's a little weird, you maybe call. But listen, if
the kids are okay. The kids are fine. The kids don't need to call me.
They are fine. Matter of fact, they gonna be with you. They gonna be with whoever goes.
Right, look. Y'all got eyes on
shit, mine grown, so they ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, mine is almost.
They ain't gotta worry about that. So, but yeah, that's it. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna talk a little current affairs. So everybody's talking about Deshaun Watson and his 24 sexual alleged, because we don't have any proof either way, and there's the criminal case been dropped and all that stuff. Is still the cases, except for one, or all of them have been.
I think all of them have been
settled now, whatever, and it's just a lot of stuff going on. But apparently 24 women came forward and said that they were inappropriately harassed by Deshaun Watson during massages. And at this point, we have no evidence to either him being innocent or guilty. Now, we can always play the odds and say something happened. 24 women came forward. Something happened. I don't know. Like I said, everybody can't be wrong. Everybody can't be wrong. But since we here and we like to talk a lot of shit about a lot of shit. Now, you know what? I'm going to get the women's point of view first, because I don't want to jump out there and, you know what I'm saying, then they start beating me and then they show cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, then that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to get the opinions of Miss Brickhouse and Miss Mara and see just what they think about the situation itself. Okay. The situation itself, as far as that. So just hearing that, Brick, go ahead.
I feel, and I'm gonna keep it very simple, because it's a thing about once one person hears it, it's like, oh, me too. And it's the bad Me Too movement. Go ahead. It's okay. I'm saying it. I feel like I'm a devil's advocate because I'm a woman. But let me tell you, being in a situation about, you've been in, I worked in nightlife so long. If one dude makes one person feel uncomfortable, it's like a flock of other 50,000 girls who are her friend and be like, don't worry, I'm gonna do it too. Yeah, he did that to me too. He did that to me too. It's happened. It's happened. Us women, we know how to make it. We know how to make a check. But also on the other hand, if those parlors were happy ending parlors, baby, that was on you. That was on him. Because you're talking about massages. Think about massages. You know how they think about massages. Blah, blah, blah. The massage you are in. You have money, or what type of massage do you want? If you offered and he said no, you could feel offended.
That's true.
You can feel offended and be like, well, if he don't do it, I'm gonna do this. Always have your backup card. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm not on the, he this. It could be that, but also I'm thinking about the other end too, because we've seen it happen in the industry everywhere. So I don't know. That's my take on it. It's like I don't know. I'm not there.
So I'm of the opinion that everybody can't be wrong at one time, but I also don't think that necessarily everything that was said was legitimate, because some stuff just didn't make sense. Like the one girl, she was like, "Oh my God, that was my first time meeting him," and whatever. I forgot what she said he did or didn't do, whatever. It disturbed her so much that when he texted her again and was like, "Hey, I need a massage," she went back. Like, to me, you're only gonna get, especially like if I have no ties to you, you only get one time to disrespect me, and that's it. We have no ties. You're not my friend. You're not my family member. You're not anything to me. You're Deshaun Watson. Okay, I gave you a massage.
Money.
But how? Like, to me, that would not be worth going back. Like, you're not gonna sexually assault me and then be like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay you $5,000 more to come out here and let me assault you again. Like, that's stupid.
And that's madness. Exactly.
But I can't say that everybody was lying, because I feel like with that amount of people, like, so I'm not going to say what exactly it was because I wasn't there, but I do feel like something happened at some point to somebody.
Yeah. I definitely believe that part, because that's why it's in the news. But what, like you were saying, it's a thing. But also, we all have had different situations in the past that people that have been in different cultures that have done the same thing, and those same people went back, and they said, "Why did you go back?" "Oh, I don't know." And it's like, we don't know unless we're in that situation. But also at the same time, it's a thing of like, okay, you know about it. How are you getting your mental health together? Because you keep talking about it, it's gonna trigger stuff. You getting money out of it? Okay, he gave you your money. So after that money, what you gonna do next? You gonna get help?
Right.
Because clearly you haven't had help because it came out this long. It took this long for you to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a thing of like,
I find it interesting that the team settled a lot of the lawsuits too. So that, to me, was a lot.
Yeah.
The team settled a lot of the lawsuits. Once they couldn't.
The team he used to play for, actually.
Once they couldn't destroy his whole career.
Yeah, I didn't get into all of it. I wanted you to go to the service first.
Oh, my bad.
But she did. That's why I said after that. So back to me.
She was my boy. She was throwing me jams. I was like, I'm like, for real. I got closer. I got excited. She gotta let me know. It's my boy.
So here we go. Right.
Okay. Oh.
I think we are in a bandwagon society.
I like how you put that.
Yes. So I've seen it all over the internet. And from what I understand, what I hear, parts of it, I don't know who these girls were, but from what I understand, he got these massage girls off of Instagram. Right. Exactly. So exactly, right. So do I believe that 24 women were sexually assaulted or sexually inappropriately conducted or whatever with Deshaun Watson? No. It was sexually, whatever.
Not all.
No, I don't. Now, here we go. I believe there were 4 women out of the 24 that may have been, I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
That may have been sexually assaulted. Because these are the 4 women that came first.
Well, yeah.
Also, then all of a sudden it get bumped to 24. Well, it just kept going up. When the first round of settlements came out, 20 settled. Guess who was left? The original 4. You understand what I'm saying? Money grab. So they didn't settle until the last possible minute. They didn't settle till after they knew the case wasn't going to be criminal. They didn't settle till after he signed his big ass contract. They still didn't settle until it had to the last waking hour, basically. So I think these 4 women that settled the last part of it settled because they figured, listen, we're not gonna get justice, so we're gonna bleed as much money as we can so we can have some kind of justice, right? Mm-hmm. The first 20 was settled by what? The Houston Texans, who he doesn't even play for no more. They settled them.
That's
And
what they probably never mind.
Because and go ahead. Because this story came out. Interesting enough, the timing of the story, it came out after he said, like 2 weeks or a week and a half after he said he had never played for the Texans again. Then all of a sudden, out of the woodworks, come a bunch of girls talking about something. He sexually harassed me in the.
Me too.
And a lot of it came out of.
Me too.
I came out of the jump. The stories, a lot of stories sound similar to the first four.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
I understand what you're saying.
Everybody can't be wrong, but not
everybody gonna be right.
Everybody ain't right either.
It's no way they can all be right.
So quick. The first 20, and like I said, the first 20 was settled by the team he used to play for, probably because they probably the ones who they probably was like, oh, go ahead, step forward, go ahead, let's make this a whole thing, because they probably thought they were gonna scare him to coming back and playing. He said no.
He said, I ain't touching him.
He signed once he signed a new big contract.
I don't need that.
He settled the job,
and his people probably said, don't even worry about it. They're doing this because of this. Like his team, his team was like his team for him, not the actual sports team.
Yeah, his own team.
Yeah, his team was like, hey, play cool.
Play cool. We cool.
We got this. You got your evidence.
And guess what? It worked out big time.
Sure enough.
He got a new contract, $230 million, fully guaranteed.
Hey.
He got these. He only had them settled with like 4 of the girls himself.
Yeah, but the other team settled for the other 20.
Yeah,
stupid.
Yeah, because they probably put them first 20 in the mix.
So they was like, well, here's your.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, so.
Here's your thing.
And this is all speculation. Don't look at us and be like, but.
Or look at us and you'll be like, we don't give a fuck.
Okay, or that.
I mean, we just talking our shit. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it is what it is.
That's free to talk that shit as well.
Right. You can.
So,
you can say what you feel.
So there's a comment made today that Mara P just showed me. Would you like to read the comment, Mara P? We will not tell you who it's from just yet. But we will.
Because I was about to.
Have you heard this piece of this comment?
I was about to preface this with his old. Okay.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that yet.
Okay.
Hold on one moment.
My Mara P is looking for it because she just had it up. I don't know why.
Because it was on Facebook and I scrolled on accident.
I know what it said.
What did it say?
I didn't want to misquote it, but it said that Deshaun Watson should be banned from the NFL for life.
Oh.
For his transgressions. Basically, because of his transgressions, because of the 24 women and all that stuff. The 24 women that he was not criminally charged with. He was not found guilty in the court of law. He settled most of them. And you can say what you want to say, but there was nothing criminal involved. Like 2 grand juries said no, we're not going to indict him. We're not going to take this to court. So, and believe me, I work in a law firm. Grand jury can indict you or anything. If they want to indict you or drinking juice wrong, and they got lipstick on the cup, they gonna indict you. I'm dead ass serious. That's dead serious. They don't need a lot of evidence at all to indict you.
Oh, believe me,
and they said no twice. So yeah, the man said, "You don't have to keep looking at Mara."
Hold on,
she like.
But that was basically the comment. So the comment was made, and guess who was made by? Ben Roethlisberger himself, Mr. Going to bars, and I don't like to use the R word, but basically got in trouble for sexually assaulting a few women of his own.
Right.
And was it criminal, or did he face criminal charges or anything like that? I'm not sure, but I know it was pretty much It pretty much a done deal. They pretty much said he did it, and I think he confessed or whatever. I don't know. All I know is he got in trouble for basically
the
same thing or worse.
Now, but you already know this is what it is.
And
right?
he was suspended for 6 games, appealed it, and it went down to 4. So how in the world are you gonna tell me that this other man is supposed to be banned? So do we get into here's the issue? What I wanted to ask y'all, as I was thinking about it earlier today, and I specifically wanted to ask y'all: is the public outrage? Is it because of the act of the sexual, or is it because of the women that said he did it? You understand what I'm saying?
Women.
Like, is it the women? Right?
Women.
It's the women.
It's the women.
Because
if
it's the act, then
that's like half the people in.
How in the world is Roethlisberger saying anything? His act was probably because it was proven.
Mm-hmm.
His act was proven. We still don't know, even though we could say whatever, but we still don't 100% know that he did this to this many women or to any of them at all. We don't still 100% know. Now he probably say, "Man, I'm tired of this shit, so let's just get these birds.
Give him the money,
right?" But we know Ben Roethlisberger did it. So, and he had what was it, 2, 3, 4? I don't know how many it was, but I know it's more than one. I know he's a repeat offender. I know it's more than one. I know that for a fact. So, are we saying now we're
I don't even know how you fix your reconstructed face?
Because entitlement.
To say something like
entitlement.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
Entitlement.
I don't think you should.
I can't say what I want to say.
I want you to talk your
shit.
I
don't know why you can't.
I'm interested.
I'm just saying, like we are uncensored here.
Well, so. I feel like you know what? I can sum it up in saying that if you live like in a crystal house, you probably shouldn't be throwing stones at nobody else. Because you like one pebble away from your shit shattering too.
But like, you know the most ones, they the ones who throw at the glass house.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Those are the ones that do it most.
You should know.
And that's what's so crazy. And it was interesting enough is that in like media and stuff like that, like whoever released that.
Oh, also, can we please stop saying how many games Calvin Ridley then got suspended for, because he knew damn well he had no business
betting on the sport.
And then he got suspended. They say he got suspended again because he was betting on the outcome of the trial. Like how many? Like,
people so stupid.
Like, come on, bro.
People are crazy. They're outrageous.
And then you're betting as yourself. Like, come on, you gotta be smarter than that. God damn, how many times you got hit in the head, my guy?
So wait a minute.
He was betting himself too.
So
like, send somebody to do that shit for you. You can pay crackhead Lou.
But you know what? But here's the thing. Here's what's tripping me out though. That actual, they say, well, he banned for the season. Well, because it's illegal. We know this. Like, that's a precedent that's already been set. That's in the book.
And it's not.
Right.
And
it's in the book.
And it's not alleged.
Right.
It's right
it's
there.
Right there. It's right there. Like, he did.
Basically,
they talk about this other suspicions like DeAndre Hopkins got 6 games with PED. It's there. They actually have that set up.
It's not alleged.
They actually have that set up where the first offense is a warning. So this is not his first offense. There you go. Because you don't hear about the first offense. Mm-hmm. They just tell you, don't do that shit again. The second time it's 6 games. The third time is 16 games. And then after that, it's indefinite. That's how it's set up. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Watson, it's not set up any other. I mean, so what she used was, and what I knew she would use was conduct detrimental to the league or the team or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Which that's in the book, and that's the same thing they use with Ben Roethlisberger, which is fine. But if you committed the same act, no matter how many people were involved, if you committed the same act, then that's what happens. Like, we still don't know. Now, if you say it's confirmed 24 people, then maybe you talk about something else. But we haven't confirmed anything yet. It's just 24 people in the pipeline who could very well be lying too. Like not lying, but like altering their stories to sound like the rest of them to make it more.
It's a lie.
Well, yeah, that too. I'm sorry. But if you're making it, if you're making it like to just add on, to just add on. It's like the Me Too movement, like you said. It's just Me Too in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? We Me Too in the wrong way, but
right. But
it's in the books. It's in the books to get your suspension, and then they went outside, and I think also this whole thing should be left alone because I believe that the NFL or whoever else did it the right way. They went outside, and then they saw a lady, a judge that's a woman, and maybe she looked at it objectively. I think objectively enough. Because she said it was egregious, his behavior was egregious and stuff like that, but she still only gave him 6 games because all she could get him with is personal conduct detrimental to the team or to the league. And you don't have a film like Ray Rice where you see that shit that was appalling when you get his woman, but we don't have video of something else, or we don't have test records of PEDs or all this other stuff. We don't have the actual proof, but that's what she can land. And you can't suspend somebody the whole season for personal conduct. That's just not in the book. The book it says
it's only a few games.
Gave it to her and gave her carte blanche to give him a suspension. Now whether the suspension was going to be too long, you can appeal and all that stuff, but players in the NFLPA say, well, we're going to go along with what you say, and we hope that the NFL goes along with what you say because we're planning on going along with what you say. And it was 6 games, so NFLPA said we're going to step back, and I think it should just be,
So along that line, right? Why we on the subject of conduct detrimental to speech? Does that only apply to the players?
Yes, apparently.
Oh, okay, because it can't apply to the owners. We got that.
Well, it can't. Well, okay, so.
That'd be too much, like right.
It should in the eyes of how things are supposed to go. Yes, but in essence, the NFL are the owners, so they are the NFL. Basically, that's it. They're the bosses. They are the NFL. Like the commissioner works for them. He is just trying to keep everything together.
Okay, so my question.
So he works for them. They pay his salary. So they're the boss. So you can say, but who are they answering to but themselves? So if you got we all owners, right? We all owners, right? And we all in this strip joint, and we get all crazy and loose or whatever, and shit happens. We all in it together.
Like, don't you tell.
But let's say you go off and do some other crazy shit. Because you always done some crazy shit. Well, actually, it could be breakouts too. Because you know some crazy shit too. But look,
why can't never be you though?
Right, why gotta be us? Hold on. I'm a changed woman. I'm 30 now.
Wow.
Shut up, you
dirty. I don't do nothing wrong. That ain't the point. The point is
the devil's a lie, and I ain't seen you in years, and I know that's a lie. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
The point is how we going is doing this.
You pointed us 3 being owners.
Okay,
and us 3 owners, and you go out do something wrong. And you do something extra.
That's under lock and key, right? But let's just say one of us go over and do some crazy shit on our own.
You
and then everybody else say, well, let's just say majority of the owners do this crazy. Then I went off. Okay, I went off, did some more crazy shit on my own. Yeah. And I came back and I was like, damn, nigga, that's some crazy shit.
I didn't know you had any.
And then the people say, oh, that's wrong. We want his head. Y'all be like, we can't have his head because we don't all do some crazy shit. Because if they have my head, guess who else head they gonna have? Everybody else. So we gotta govern as our own thing.
They don't mind having other people's head when they missing $2.50 per ticket, but they might have other people's head when they out here ogling and fondling cheerleaders.
Yes,
that don't make no good goddamn sense.
It don't.
Because if that dude gets his head taken, right? Or if that dude gets some kind of discipline or whatever,
based on
that motherfucker gonna be like, I ain't going down.
I'm going down with all of y'all together.
Exactly.
We're going down together.
So we're gonna be like, so all of us gonna be like, hey, listen. Shut the fuck up.
Well, we
Shut
already know Robert Kraft a freak, so.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, and he went into a jump. He went into a jump.
Where they
was happy and they got one and they got in trouble because That was
Yeah. He said, "Well, I'm going to get my dangle wangle."
He's like,
dangle.
He went in that job. He was like that now. Right now?
Happy beginning of ending.
He walked into the job. He was like, "Is this the time now?"
Oh, did it?
Hold on, just give us a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, give us a minute.
Like, hold on.
Let's take it to the back.
Can we get to the back? Get you rubbed down a little bit.
Get a little oil. Can we get to the back?
Get a little section.
Hey, listen,
I'm getting in this show. I'm getting in there.
Said, you know why I'm here.
Don't tell me good morning, how you doing, what you need, what you looking for. You know why I'm here.
I don't give a damn how your day was, sweetheart.
Just touch my dick.
Don't ask. Right. Don't ask me what I did.
Touch me now. Touch me now.
Right. My name is.
I got my wife for all that.
I just want you to shut up and
Nah, but that's why. That's why when you see when you hear about owners and shit like that, they don't. Now Paul. I mean, Paul. Damn, he ain't even Paul. But Roger, what he'll do now, like, is he'll go to owners. And he'll say, "Listen, man, I gotta do something. I have to do something.
You gotta be like he was stealing from you.
Like, no, I'm just saying, like, I have to do something to you because you know you went out and did some crazy shit, like right, you went out and do some crazy shit, dog.
But then they
like,
find him.
They find him and they suspend him for a while. Yeah. But that's all they really gonna do. That's what they did to Ben. They find him and they suspended him. He can't be. He's not supposed. So he set his wife under control. So he can magically be right there.
His wife is. Him, like 10 times worse. She's like a raging bitch. Nobody likes her.
But he's damn. I like how you said it. It was a perfect unison of verbiage. She just said it.
But she's just puppeteer.
It's like him 2.0.
Yeah, she's just puppeteer. But what I'm saying is like, so Roger has to go and be like, wow, you did some crazy shit. Like, nigga, you did some crazy shit. Like, I have to do something. He probably would have done. No, you doing some crazy shit. Like, I gotta do something. So, and the other owners will probably sit in the room, or a few of them was like, "Doug, you gonna stay where you at, right? But we have to do this." You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do this, and we all here to tell you that we have to do this.
And that's why.
I don't need, you know what I'm saying? I don't need you.
And that's why I was only 2.5 people at training camp.
And that's right, but what I'm saying is they
can't raffle off. Y'all can't afford to be raffling off a damn thing. You need to have all the volunteers you can get.
Is that what we doing right now? We gotta take.
I'm not trying to.
We're not here for the. Did you?
It's a whole nother. Everybody just calm down. It's in the fridge.
Can
yes, just relax.
Oh, because you saw it. Oh,
twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, little star. Can you get the
So, all right. So,
the other one. I'll send you a box. It's okay. Look at he said, go ahead. I already said, I'm sorry, that's what I'm drinking tonight.
Yeah, she did say
I'll just send you a box. I literally have to give y'all a box.
But that's basically what owners know. I mean, to be honest with you, that's the reality of the situation. They don't own up. They don't have to own up to much because they run the league. And when Roger has to do something, absolutely has to, that's when he does. But I believe he has a conversation with him and say, "Dog, I have to do this. There's no question about it. Like, I have to do it. Like, you going too much wild right now. We got to calm down." Basically, what he did, that's what he did with Dan Simon. Dog, you cannot be here. You have to. Right. You're going crazy. All this shit is going crazy. You need to leave. So that nigga been on his boat, wherever the fuck he been.
He need to stay.
Because he needed to stay away.
And he needs to stay there while he steals the damn team. That's what he needs to do.
He ain't gonna do that.
He needs to
He's not doing that. He's not gonna do that. That's like he loves his team like you love your son. Like that's
but the problem with that is while he loves the team,
he don't love him that much. That crazy.
Well, because that's the problem.
He's like a cancer.
He what he's doing is
He's worse than cancer. He's like AIDS.
he's managing the team. He's managing the team.
Yo.
Well, not really, because they got a cure now. They don't have a
Oh.
He said what?
They got a cure phase now.
Or he's like
You go ahead
monkeypox.
and
Well, not a cure, but like to where it's undetectable. Anyway, I know this is true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a whole nother show. Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
undetectable levels. However,
They
that fool is like super AIDS. Like it ain't no undetectable.
I'm not even doing this. We ain't doing this. No.
No. Okay.
But no, but what I'm saying is because he's an idiot. So he's not conducting it. He's not conducting his team as a business. He's conducting his team as a fan. So as an owner, you cannot be a fan of your own team because now you want what you want on your team, just like fans want on their team, is these people, these high-priced people that he can say, "Oh my God, you're in my building."
But I feel like
you're in my building. Like he runs it like it's a man team.
But the problem is he's conducting the team. Like just own the team. You hire people to run.
Well, that's what I'm saying to you. You're not listening.
It's like no. This part. It's like owners. I'm gonna do this. You'll understand. It's like owners of the club who always want to be there, but they put GMs and managers in, and they try to override what the fuck they're doing. Shut the fuck up and sit on the sideline. Let's do our job.
That's exactly. Yeah, but that's exactly right. He's a fan running a team.
I can be a fan right.
Instead of a business person, like, and I can't even say that. I mean, because they still because they're still making money. He doesn't necessarily care. Because they're still one of the top earning franchises in football.
The worst thing they could have done was get rid of the drunk dude because he was doing good.
This don't hit.
The drunk dude was doing good.
Thanks.
He was hitting in the right
on late
night. His wife talking all types of shit and him being drunk. He was perfect.
Well, his wife was crazy, but anyway.
His wife got him fired. I was mad. I was like, "You raggedy bitch!" Now they about to be sorry for the next 2 decades.
Yo,
you want to go online.
I must say, the way you are clapping at these wives, I love it. It comes out so pure. Yeah, she's like, "You raggedy bitch." It's the raggedy bitch for me. I'm excited. I love it.
I don't even know how we got to raggedy bitches.
I don't know, but it's
like that shit just went all to the left. It went all to the races. Okay, so I wanted to talk about something because like Mark knows I am in a car all day. Okay. I drive around the city, and I just want to ask other people, other like-minded, probably sane enough people.
Insane or
sane enough? Yeah, enough. Not. I'm not saying
turn off my mic.
I'm not saying you're sane. I'm just saying enough.
Like you really think that.
So I mean, like, I think there should be some like unwritten rules of the road, right? One is like, if you are going somewhere, right?
Like you do in a car.
But you're not in a hurry to get there. You're going at your own pace. You should not look over to your left lane or in the middle lane or anywhere where you're about to get over and see a car speeding behind you and say, "Hey, I got to get over. But I'm going to get over in front of this car and still move at my own pace."
I have a solution for that.
So instead of like they get over and they basically cut you off, and they be like,
"Your face is so hilarious right now." She's like,
"I'm gonna move."
I know what I'm about to say.
I'm gonna move in my own pace. Like I don't give a fuck about you. Then why don't you stay in your fucking lane when you was moving just fine?
I have a
Let it roll. This really grinds my gears.
Go ahead. What's your solution?
My solution is
let it roll. This really grinds my gears.
Licensed in Virginia. And put them all in the Titanic and run it back into a fucking iceberg.
We're not talking about just Virginia drivers.
And then we're just gonna leave them that one door and may the best man win.
I'm not talking about just Virginia drivers.
Damn.
I know.
She said one door. So thank goodness I'm DC. I mean, you know. We would have had him like fighting, like, hey, you know. She's like, where are you going? Don't worry about it. We good, you know. Been the situation. But yeah, no, I fucking hate those. And you know who does it the most? When I decide to Uber somewhere and I am late, they go below the speed limit, and the guy does. They're jerking. I can see their feet. They're like, gas, brake, gas, brake, gas, brake. I'm like, go! And I'm just like, do you want me to drive the car for you? And it's like, who's gonna really give two shits if you run up this little Honda, baby? Please tap this bitch to the miles. Go forward. That's why you have this car. To put miles on it, and the car was like, yeah. I was like, oh my god, I'm like, please,
I'm like, going past because I'm like, why are you here? That motherfucker, and
I'll be like,
listen.
And I'll be looking at them like, don't look at the right by. Don't even look right by.
Let me tell you something.
I hated that.
Every single day.
So.
Every single day, I think
those people could be in a Titanic too. Can it? Is enough room? Okay.
They want people coming. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna be a slew of people. I don't know who's gonna be left. But
I think Lisa and RP and some other people can tell you.
Oh, I thought they put him on the Titanic. I'm like, dang.
For a long time, while I was driving my car, I legit thought my car was invincible. I mean, invisible to the drivers. Like every single day. Twice, at least twice. If I didn't tell you a story twice, if I called you and talked to you every day, if I didn't tell you a story at least twice about that happened to me, something happened to me twice a day, it was a good day. I promise you. I'm talking about like people will come out of a side street and I'm burning down the main street and they'll come out. This happened like 2 months ago. This dude was at a light. I was coming through the light. Mine was green. He was turning right into where I was at. So which means his was red. He's supposed to look. This motherfucker did just this. He inched out. He inched out again. And I saw him. I was like, this motherfucker better not come out here. Guess what he did?
Came out
there.
I knew that. We knew that.
At like 3 miles an hour.
Go slow. I hate that. Why do you go slow? Oh my God.
Wait a minute. I'm not done. The nigga. I hung my horn and I laid on it. I was like, bitch, you saw me. I laid on the horn. No, he stopped. The motherfucker stopped in front of me. Stop. I said, oh, the car behind me.
He gonna be at the bottom part with the he gonna be at the bottom part with the lady laid on her children. That's what he gonna be.
He gonna be with the man. The man. He gonna be with them.
No, he ain't got no way to see shit. He in the water already.
He down by the niggas that's still trying to fix the shit. That's what he had. But the nigga stopped. And then so I'm honking. So the nigga behind me honking and everybody honking. And it was funny because the only reason I didn't hit him because I was slowing down anyway coming across the intersection because I was about to go into the gas station right on the other side. I had to still go around him to get into the gas station because the niggas was still stopped. Dog, I mean, this shit happens to me every day, dog. Like, I mean, like I come home, I mean, like, Mom, what? I'm invisible again.
Oh,
she like,
oh, baby.
She like, how many times happen today?
Look, maybe tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna call you back.
How many times it happen today?
Okay,
I pick her up at 3 o'clock. I'm sorry. I pick her up at 3 o'clock. Most days when she works. Well, every day she works.
Right.
I pick her up at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is not even half the day most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still early in the day. Right. And she'd be like, is everything okay today? Like, no, this shit happened again 3 times today. Like, it's.
I can't even tell you. I like the majority of my coworkers when I worked in Virginia, but I cannot even tell you how happy I am.
No, she don't.
No, I said most.
Oh, okay. They must the other ones they on the train. They travel on the train, right? You don't see their cars.
Most of the 3 that was in the area of hers.
Right. But I can't. I thank the Lord every day that I do not have to drive to Virginia for work anymore. Like
I used to work at Herndon.
Oh no!
I was working in Reston, like by Dulles Airport.
So I was at Herndon Metro Station, and then I had to go past that. So I was right there by you.
That shit, but it's like
it was hell.
There should be rules to this. There should be rules on the highway. There should be rules.
I think I developed high blood pressure just by virtue of having you out there every day.
There should be rules.
Oh my God.
My doctor said, "Yeah, blood pressure getting a little high." I want to say, because these motherfuckers don't know how to drive.
They don't see me. They don't see me.
And then I get into other. I was telling people, they like, "You gonna drive?" Nah, because I think I'm invisible, so I don't think you're. I don't think you gonna be there.
You gonna stress them out? They're gonna be like, "What?
What?"
I'm like, "What?"
When I get in the car, I hit the drive, the whole car gonna turn invisible because nobody sees me. No fucking body sees me. You know what I'm saying? So if you see a burgundy car with fire coming out the back, that means don't get in the fucking way. Get your ass out the way, dog. Like move.
They won't
move.
They won't
fucking move. Listen, and I'm actually quite patient with most people.
Are you?
I am. Mm-hmm. It's just these dumb motherfuckers. So BZL used to ride with me, and it got to the point where, and I lie to you not, it got to the point where me and him, every time something happened, I would just look at him, he'd look at me and be like, at the same time, we just keep on rolling. Like, he'll tell you, I hardly ever honked the horn. Mm-hmm. Because it was just like, at this point, it was given. It was a given that some dumb
like,
shit happen. And I'd be like, and so it got to the point where they wouldn't even look up. He'd just be in his phone and stuff. And I'd be like, and I'll do something, and he'll look up, and I'm like, did you see that shit? He was like this.
It's the slow and constant.
What the fuck?
The slow stare and the shaking.
And then he'd be like this. And he'd go right back to the phone. Like, at first we used to be like, what the fuck? And he'll jump because he'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, oh, he'll start yelling and shit. Like, Zay is not a he's a pretty, he's pretty boiler. He hot in here. Right. He'll yell the fuck. Like, we got to a point where we was just both like,
oh well.
It is what
I don't know what to do now. Like, I have no.
It is what it is. Let's do
it again. I don't even know what to do no more. So
you should set it to a sound effect.
Well, I don't even know. What?
Yeah, I don't even know what to do anymore.
We gonna put it on the board.
She be like,
how we put sounds on the board? We say we gonna put it on the board. It is what it is. That shit, man. I just want. Who was it? Two-bar that said we need battle rams in the front of it.
Yes, I said I wanted a ram on the front of my car so that I can just run people off the road.
Yeah.
I always say that once I get my money and my life right and I get where I need to be, I'm getting me a Wrangler and I'm not stopping. I'm getting one with the axe on top, y'all. So if y'all see me, follow me, bitches. We going through the
I'd be like,
look, fire coming up and back.
Oh, look, y'all right with me.
We're gonna be like a funeral. But we gonna be going way fast.
Don't worry, look.
Don't break this ladder. You get fucked up.
Don't worry, Amazon got the lights. Come on, let's go. They were like, your ass up there.
Don't break this ladder. You gonna get fucked up. Now you gonna join us in the back.
Look, drop that. South Road I drove from here to Atlanta.
Oh Lord, I know that. I know that.
God bless you. I can't drive that long. I gotta be killed.
I haven't done that in a while.
Sis, that was my first ever. I got my license 5 months before that, and that was my first big car drive by myself.
Oh no! You say it by yourself?
By myself. So this what happened. I didn't tell anybody until that day. I was just like, I'm going to Atlanta. They're thinking I'm going to the airport. I'm going to Atlanta. I ended up cleaning some homes out there. Seeing some people out there just spending some time last year. I told my mother I was leaving. She's like, oh, how you going? I was like, oh, I'm just driving. She was like, and then she was just like, you're driving? I was like, yeah. And she's like, who's going with me? Myself. She was like, freaked her out, of course. I'm her baby.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Freaked out my friends. They was like, you strong, sis. I was like, I know. I think that when we talk about the caravan, I think I was riding with the same people, like for at least about the rest of that evening into the morning. And like when I say it felt like we was feeling like, all right, it's pitch black. I don't see none on the radar. we followed suit. We were just like, come on, let's go. Let's glide this caravan all the way out.
That's the one.
And it was through the night, and I was like, bet we all feel the same way. And it felt like we got off the same exit to go get gas. We didn't say nothing to nobody, but it was like we all was like,
it's like a thing. So
yeah,
I've done it.
But like,
I've done
it. Get back home. Come on, let's go.
Because my mom used to live down there. I've done it many times. So
if it's over 4 hours,
we know. So what I used to do is I call it when I travel like that, I call it a rabbit car.
Oh yeah.
So I catch a rabbit car. So a rabbit car is one of them motherfuckers that's just gonna go. They don't give a fuck about police. So I follow that car because if I'm far enough behind it and I'm still going, you can see their brakes
before you
you know what I'm saying. So I call it because dogs chase rabbits. So I call it a rabbit car. So I'm chasing this rabbit, and I usually catch a rabbit car in every state because I'm like, damn, like like I said, it's pitch black, especially in Virginia. They got the tree. See, in North Carolina is easy. Speed limit 70, and it's open. You can see when the cops coming.
I think I was going at least about 120 for the whole night.
In Virginia,
and when I say I was
in
like,
the Carolinas, you can do that.
I was talking to myself. I was like, bitch, you testing yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you? Screaming the whole time. And next thing you know, you got this shit. Look at you driving. Look at you driving. Oh my! Like those movies when you see the little cartoons break down and go. I literally had that the whole ride there, and I was like, by the time I like into the morning, I had to go do the house. I had to clean. I drove straight there. I didn't no break, no nothing, no eating, no food, no nothing. Got there, cleaned the shorty house. It was very confusing. I was like, damn, your house crazy, but I did it. Got my stack, and I had another house to do the next day. And my mom was like, oh my God, did you get there? And this is my mom talk. My mom, she really talks like that. I love her, but she's like, oh my God, did you get there? I was like, yes. She's like, oh my God, where's your hotel? Where you staying? And I was like, I'm staying by so-and-so, she knew who I was talking about. And she's like, oh my God, let me look at the ratings. And I was like, mom, they're fine. She's like, I'm gonna get you another one. Get it right here. It's by the exit. It's closer. And I was like, all right. And she's like, I'll see you did everything. Did you get it? Did you get it? You need my card? I was like, chill. But it was like, I understood. Like my mom, she was like, I don't want you to be in the heart of Atlanta because at the time during pre-pandemic, in the pandemic, I think I went last year, it was a lot of still crime. It was a lot of craziness. And she's like, you're a woman. I know you do stuff by yourself, but do not be in the heart of it. And I ended up being moving. Yeah. And it was closer to one of my friends that she grew up with me and my mom. We all know each other. So she was like, if you need anything, she's close. And I was like, I got you. But yeah, I went out there and my mom was on that. All right, you okay? You okay? And I rode back. And this is how much entrepreneurship I am. Went out there, saw 3-4 people, had 2 meetings unexpectedly, met 4 people who did 2 of my photo shoots when I came back home. Then my homeboy called me, said, what you doing today? I said, I'm in Atlanta. He was like, what? I said, I'll be back tonight. He was like, well, I'm gonna put you on the flyer. Can you host this event? I said, cool. Mind you, it is 10 o'clock. I gotta be there by 10 p.m. in DC. I said, don't hit the flyer. I'm gonna tell my girls to come. I filled out the whole spot with my girls. And by the time it was like, what happened? I said, I literally came from Atlanta right now, drove home. I had my hair in twists. I took my hair out. I had a whole new hairstyle by the time I got back with the car. And then I just ran through, dropped my stuff off, and I drove there. And I had it was like, you just posted, you was on live that you was driving. I said, and I'm hearing that. It was like, damn.
That's a good trip, though. That's a good trip. That was a good trip.
But cool. I would love to do it.
I did have fun in Atlanta.
Isn't it fun?
I absolutely did not drive.
But isn't Atlanta's fun?
Yeah,
it's fun. It's fun.
Good time when I
went
to Atlanta a couple of
it's
times.
Fun.
I went to Atlanta a few times and I really did have a good time. The first 2 times we went out there, we stayed in like a suburb. Of Atlanta. The only thing about we stayed in a couple of houses. So, but the last time we went down there, we stayed like in the city, which was a lot more convenient. Because one thing about like the suburbs is like they're not like the suburbs here. The motherfuckers are spread out.
Yes.
Like if you wanted to like say you're like in the neighborhood, like you want to go to a restaurant, that shit is going to be 25 minutes away. Like there is no going down the street to a restaurant at all.
So I know that Hiram and Henry.
Well, we got the expert right there. So
Well, let me come. Let's
They
see.
still expert
Let
like
us
this.
see what we know. Just so he could like be on the back and be like, yeah, you right, because you know some country.
Oh, he go. That's what I'm telling
I
you.
know. That's like he gonna stop.
What I'm
gonna
telling you is he gonna be like. That's why I told you.
Can I go? Look,
If we go like this, come like this. Yeah.
You know his eyes gonna look up because he gonna stop and play them. That's what he think all the time. Like look up.
Like
Crazy.
About, so
Right. But no, I went to Henry. I went to a place in Henry. Had a good time there, but I was staying in Hiram, I believe, and then I went to Atlanta for a time in the day. I gotta get confirmation. Is that good enough?
Yeah. Atlanta is the city in the middle of the forest.
Yep.
So everything on the outside of Atlanta is country.
And I never knew that until I went down there as an
Atlanta
adult
is the city.
because I had to drive into it. I never
But everything else.
But see, I knew that because my mom always, when she was down there, she always lived outside the city. But she lived close enough where it wasn't that bad.
Right.
It's like
right.
she always lived close to big highways. You know what I'm saying?
So-
or highways in general. Like, what is it? Is it Buford?
Mm-hmm.
She lived by Buford Highway, which is it got a lot of stuff on it on the
Oh,
strip.
no, but let me
So
tell- let me-
like that's
let
where
me
she
tell
lived
you,
until she.
When I first, when we stayed like in Atlanta, when I flew in, I don't know what the fuck happened on the highway.
Nothing
like-
probably was on.
A 20-minute trip took like an hour and 15 minutes. It was so crazy because like
Yeah, because they don't know how to.
the Uber driver was like, I am so sorry. He was like, I keep on trying to take back roads, but every back road just leads me to more traffic.
Yeah.
I was like,
What's going on?
I was like, well, I'm not paying for this
Yeah,
shit. So
it's
I'm
just-
I didn't even run into that much traffic when I was there, and there was everyone was worried about talking about if you don't.
They got a super highway though.
I rode that and I conquered that
Superhighway.
shit.
What
I
is
had
it,
no
25?
problem. I had no problem.
25 is 5 lanes.
Yo, everybody was like, "Oh, you're not gonna survive the highway and stuff."
Yeah.
But I made it. I conquered it. So I felt great.
I used to work in
I did have a good time though. Shout out to Atlanta.
Atlanta's, y'all been good to me.
Remember.
Thank you.
Shout out to Atlanta from the DC girl.
You need to. We need to do another. I need to do another Atlanta trip, but I want to do a trip with actual
Last
like
time I drove to Atlanta was
people to
with
do like a whole lot of
the Atlanta boy right there.
Atlanta boy.
I think what was that 2015? That's
Oh,
time I drove.
shit.
15, that's like
That don't even exist
Last
no
time I
more.
drove to Atlanta.
Oh, I'm about to say that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, no, drove. Yeah, last time I drove.
Like,
That was crazy though. We was in traffic at midnight in Virginia.
oh, there's always
Traffic in Virginia. We took it like 2 hours to pass that job. Everybody knew we was going. They kept taking me my phone like around 5 o'clock in the morning. Y'all ain't there yet? No, nigga.
like, shut up.
We just getting out of Virginia, bro.
Like, do you know what Virginia does?
That shit crazy, man.
They fuck you over in driving and drivers.
Yes, sirs. But all right, we was just discussing stuff like we wasn't on the show, right? That shit was crazy. We
It was
had a
cool.
conversation.
It was
Them
okay.
people gonna like it. Them people gonna like it. Do you have anything that like just grind your gears? Is like just off? I mean, we don't have all night, but give me one. Just give me one. Give me something that like really like fucks with your mind. Like be like this should. Oh, she sat up. Oh, this y'all finna be good.
Nope, I need more to simmer. I want to go last.
Oh, you got anything
Por
more?
favor.
What grinds my gears?
Yeah, just something.
There's several.
Exactly. Can you go first, please?
I just told you the rules of the road.
Oh, tell us another one then. I need more time.
She got one.
Okay. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit from Virginia drivers because they do grind my gears. But what grinds my gears slightly more than Virginia drivers is sports parents.
Oh, that's a good one.
I really need y'all
Oh,
to
elaborate.
chill out on these kids. Like your 7-year-old is not getting a scholarship to Alabama right now. Like let these kids have fun. Stop betting on their games. Stop coming out there drinking and acting a goddamn fool. Stop getting in fights, leaving red cups everywhere. Like
Can you? I'm sorry. But I want you to insert coaches that act crazy during 7-on-7 football games too.
oh,
Yeah, let's just insert that
let's
too.
get on it.
Well,
Oh,
football games in general. But let's go. Let's segue into that from where you are.
So for those of y'all who don't know, my son does play football. He's not in youth football anymore, thank God.
But those niggas crazy too.
Yeah, the youth football
coaches are crazy too.
Let's normalize acting like we have some goddamn sense, because to be honest,
that would be too much like right.
My son was in a tournament a couple of weeks ago, and one of the coaches was real out of pocket the whole time we were there, but especially towards the end. I mean, nobody likes to lose, and that's perfectly fine, but like kicking shit, like cursing the refs out and all types of foolishness, like at some point you have to realize that you have to act like a fucking adult. Like you have to adult.
They got a tolerant mentality.
Like these are, you might be dealing with older kids, but they're still kids. Like they feed off of your energy. So if you're out here wilding out, they're gonna think that they can be out here wilding out. But the difference between them and you is they still have a chance. Your chance was over, and now you're their coach. And if from some off reason, a college coach is at a 7-on-7 game and you don't have any control, so your team has no control, they're going to think that these kids are uncontrollable, and that's going to fuck up their chance. Like, don't fuck up their chance because you ain't going nowhere.
I understand. I just say that.
So that's what grinds my gears. Y'all get on my goddamn nerves.
So I got one. I do got one. If you're not ready, are you ready?
Go ahead.
I got another one. What grinds my gears are talking to people on the internet about sports, that's why I was like, about sports, because most niggas on the internet don't know about actual sports that they're talking about. So, something came out about Lamar Jackson the other day about how he's not a number one quarterback or whatever, and I'm thinking, and a friend of mine who shall remain nameless because Bezel might get mad if I was talking about him. Like, no, but no, he didn't. He just posted it. Bezel posted it the other day, and before I commented, before I actually, when I read it, and Bezel said, any thoughts on what was said. And I read it and I was like, I'm not gonna comment on this because this is obviously asinine. Like whoever said this is an idiot. And most NFL analysts who know something about the NFL, i.e., some of the top tier players that turn to really smart analysts. Really smart analysts have said that this was an idiotic thing, but they said this after I read it. But anyway, when I read it, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this, right? But of course I read the comments, and the people that I'm talking about, they crying my kids, were the people all over this post. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I have to say something to this stupidity, right? And it just so happens that I only had to say one thing because I shut the whole post because I haven't seen any kind of
shut the whole post.
But I said exactly that. I don't usually comment on shit like this because talking to people on the internet about look at that does not work. Yeah, there you go. I'm blue. Okay. There we go. Okay. So that didn't work. We gonna worry about it later because we about to be done anyway. But
okay,
this is the last part of the show. But what I'm saying, I said, but exactly that. That's the thing. I said. So I don't usually say anything or argue with people about sports on the internet because the people that I talk to on the internet don't know anything about sports. And they were talking about, well, first of all, directly affected, mostly directly affected as being a good quarterback. You need people around you that are at least going to catch the ball.
Okay.
You have to. You got to have people who's going to catch the ball. That's the whole point of you Jordan.
Dun, dun, dun. Say what you said.
Lamar Jackson has none. He has one. He's a big white boy that can catch pretty well. Play tight end. Tight end is not supposed to be your number one receiver. He also has a guy who did catch a lot of passes, but goddamn it, if he throw a whole lot of passes to him that he dropped.
Damn it.
Damn it. Damn it.
Damn
So,
it.
but his winning percentage is still one of the top winning percentages in the league because he does it however he needs to do it. And that is what somebody who's the leader, who's the quarterback is. Like, you do stuff or you do what you need to do to win.
Yeah.
And he's won the majority of the time in the league. So I don't know what else you want or what else this dude wants, but you sound like an idiot if you think this dude is not somebody who can carry a team because he's done it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they talk about this man and some of the comments are made about this man, and they talk about, I'm thinking, so I named somebody comparable who hasn't done any of the stuff that they talking about, winning the big game, getting to the Super Bowl, whatever. And I talk about another quarterback who does it now. All of a sudden, why are we talking about him? But because he's the same person now. He hasn't done it either. And before he got weapons, he was Lamar Jackson.
Are we talking about Josh Allen?
Yeah. He was Lamar Jackson. He didn't put up good passing numbers, but he ran the ball.
Josh Allen.
And he didn't even win. He wasn't even winning like that.
He wasn't winning like that. And by the way, Josh Allen still runs more than Lamar Jackson. Just FYI for y'all people who don't know, look at the stats.
But he also has a weapon, which means, of course, he has 3 weapons. His receivers are probably better than anything Baltimore has or had in the last couple of years at receiver.
Absolutely.
So, yes, he has weapons, and he still hasn't won the big game. He still hasn't been there to
No,
the show.
he didn't. Thanks a lot, Josh Allen. Thanks a lot.
Okay, you shouldn't have bet on Josh Allen. But what I'm saying is, the whole point is, this guy has been an athlete playing quarterback his entire life while he's learning the quarterback position. But he made it to the top level of his sport, playing quarterback. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people who are athletes in college that play quarterback, that get better at quarterback, they go to the NFL and never touch the ball at quarterback again.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But he's good enough at quarterback
that he can stay there.
And he stayed there. And not only has he stayed there, he's one of the tops in the league and winning games and with his team and where they need to be and all that stuff. So
he is a what I would call a we not me as person, because I mean he could stop and pass the ball like almost every down and just let Hollywood Brown
drop all the passes,
shit go down to the basement. But instead of doing that,
drop all the passes.
He actually wants to win games. So he knows to win games, he has to run the ball because he has basically nobody to throw it to except for Mark Andrews. So there's also that.
Well, yeah, that's. I mean, it's true. Like he has to. He just gotta win them how he win them. If that's running the ball or putting pressure on the defense that he needs to put pressure on, that's what he's gonna do.
But any defense in the NFL will tell you that this man is like goated, and it's motherfuckers that run slower than me that'll be like, oh, he can't do this and he can't do that and he can't do that. But you can't even do like 100th of the shit that he does. So be quiet. Like just be quiet.
1/100.
You suck. Your kid probably sucked. Can't none of y'all
Damn,
do anything.
She went to the baby.
So
raggedy bitches.
Raggedy bitches.
Like you know,
she like raggedy bitches.
All right. So this we down to you, break out.
My grinding gears. So my grinding gears.
So right here with the break
out,
grinding the gears. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. We can do your black flag, but that's obviously right.
Okay. Well, I'll make it quick so you can do your black fact.
Oh, girl, take your time.
Okay. This may be.
Wait a minute.
Here you go.
He won MVP.
I knew he was gonna come out with.
Yeah, he
came out the back there as well.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah,
and he's 41-17.
That's what I'm saying.
And a lot of his losses came last year when he was hurt.
I
don't know.
And guess who ain't won an MVP that they don't talk about? Josh Allen. Yes, well, I keep bringing him up is because, like I said, he was awful. Josh Allen was awful his first 2 years. He started turning around his third year, but that's what he got Stephon Diggs, because he's in his 4th or 5th year right now. And Stephon Diggs is one of the top receivers. Yeah, because that's why you ascended to where you are, because you had one of the top receivers playing for you. So he was awful. So they didn't think it was a bust.
Yeah.
And Lamar, his first couple years, they was like, this dude is serious. Like, he's gonna make it. He's gonna be great. That's what they said about him. They didn't say the same thing about Josh.
He's gonna be good. He's gonna.
You know what I'm saying? But now all of a sudden, Josh Allen gonna be great because he got people to throw to.
I understand.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, wait.
Okay.
Yo, I'm out. I gotta do it.
All right.
Later. Okay.
Oh, shit.
What grinds my gears, and I mean this to the bottom of my soul, not heart, because sometimes it's not there, but it's soul. People that come to me with the audacity to think I'm the same bitch I was when I started back in 2014.
The gumption.
Don't ever come to me as the 2022 woman that I am and I've created and think that same energy gonna be back, because I'm a whole different woman. What I'm saying is the old you they try to still communicate to and channel, she not there. Don't do that. And I mean that with every person, business, personal relationship, family, friends. Don't do that.
And she means that whatever
Don't do
counts in
that.
her being.
Please don't do that. Don't ever.
She make me so proud.
Don't you
Thank you.
Don't you part your lip.
No, I'm just it's
Oh, I get it.
you feel me.
Yes.
So that's why I said it's a topic that everyone can tap into, isn't it?
Oh.
I think over the last year, through the pandemic, from the pandemic to now, when it started, a lot of people had tried me in a sense of not like fighting. Hope people did too, but still, I think of like to try to test where you are and where your mental is and who you are. Yeah. Oh, I remember everything I used to be. And baby, that's not me no more. Oh, you do this? Okay, let me proceed. But why are you acting like? Because I will not be that
Here's the thing, though.
person.
Here's the thing, though. As much as you change, niggas still won't think that you will turn back into that motherfucker that you was. Just for a split second, just to whoop that ass. I will.
To put that person back in the circle, like you get like
you get for a second.
Get real close to the mic. Look, real close. Don't do that like. Don't do that like this. Don't
think I won't be that motherfucker that will come back. Like it's like I said. Like,
but you have enough respect for yourself and where you grown to be like. So, it's not worth it, but don't.
So it happened to me some years ago.
Don't push me.
It happened some years ago. It happened some years ago. I hadn't done anything in college. I hadn't done anything since college. Like I hadn't gotten a fight. Like no, nothing. Like I was chilling.
Right.
Well, this particular night, nigga thought I wasn't gonna go back to the motherfucker who beat the nigga ass in college. Like they didn't think I would go back, but I went back because I had to.
It's good to have a good reminder, don't you think?
I had to channel it for a second, just for a second, because he had to know, he had to understand that that's not.
You shouldn't try me.
You shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't
do that. Anyway, as we about to sound off, is that right? I don't fucking know.
Sign off.
Sound don't sound like a siren, but sound off.
Sound off do sound like I'm about to go
sound
off.
Off.
I'm sorry, yeah. As we about to go, I can't say go off. Okay, sign off. Fine. We're
going to close.
As we close business for today, we are going to get a black fact from Mara P, which is something we try to do, because we all, I think we should all embrace, even if you don't, we should all try to embrace our heritage and our history every day. And not just in February, but every single day. Every single day, because if we don't, they're definitely not going to.
They try to give us everything but reparations, y'all.
They're not going to. So we're gonna try. As we try every time, Mara P gets a black fact. Yeah, that's another thing. But that might even be a show again. But we
Not because I'm about to offend somebody. I already know.
Man,
But-
do
I
it.
don't know because
Do
I like
it.
too. But what I'm saying is we try to give a black fact. I don't have one today. Marp has one. Next time we're gonna try to get a couple more in there. But we're gonna try to do this every single show before we sign off. So we sign off for the.
I
for the
like it. I'm
So-
slow.
So tonight we have one from Ms. Marp, and then we are out.
All right. So first of all, I just want to say RIP to the late great Bill Russell, one of the greatest to like ever play the game of basketball. You will be sorely missed. And in honor of him, I want to present a black fact about him. So apparently, Bill Russell. Well, I'm gonna do 3 because they're very interesting. First of all, he holds the NBA final for most rebounds in a game. He had 40 rebounds in one game. 4-0, not 14, like some of your favorite players. 4-0. He was the first NBA player to average over 20 games for a full season, and that was his rookie season, which is also interesting because I'm gonna move on to my third fact. He became the first black head coach in NBA history when he was hired as a player coach in 1966.
That's what I thought you were gonna lead off with. I didn't know that.
So it's going to be hard for anybody to measure up to Bill Russell ever in life, and
Just as a legacy
to
standpoint.
the legend because he was a great man.
All right. So Bill Russell, the late great Bill Russell, RIP. We're gonna do our moment of silence off air because we about to. Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share. We are the Talk This Shit podcast.
I appreciated my time here.
With special guest Ms. Brickhouse in the building. She gave up a lot of energy and a lot of
I do my best. I do my best.
Sauciness.
Sauciness.
She gave up a lot of sauciness tonight. And Ms. Mara P, who was the extra today, she was.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Marp know her sports and ain't look.
She knows her sports.
She know her sports and she hate them raggedy bitches.
She hate them raggedy bitches.
Hate them raggedy
She's
bitches.
really good today with basketball. I didn't. She's not a basketball person, but she did really good with the Bill Russell thing. So I'm definitely proud of her. And so the Talk Your Shit podcast, and we are. Peace.